Yo, how we doing, Nate? Doing something a little different tonight. Instead of J-Bone hogging the stream all the time. I am doing a little engineering work tonight. Tonight we're going to be making a phone stand. And I'm going to be working in CAD. This program called Fusion 360. And I got this like charging pad. And I had this idea to make like this phone stand that it's kind of like this where I'll show you once. It's kind of like this where your phone can like sit in it either like that way or it can sit in it like that way. I got it upside down. But I want to make a version that also charges your phone while it's in there and then 3D print it. So I got this charging pad and I'm basically going to design a 3D printed plastic part that this like fits into like this, and then your phone will go on top of it. And then it'll be able to like pivot up and down. I want to put like a little hinge on there. So this is something I like to do because I like to design and 3D print parts. And I figured I would just like stream my design process as long as I'm going to do it, make like a little project out of it. So a little different than the usual gaming stream, but I figured it might be fun thing to try out in live stream, and I might make like a little YouTube video on it. And I'm definitely going to just release the design to the world so that anyone can just 3D print this thing and buy this and have a phone charging pad. So yeah. Foreman sexy boy, Jason gay boy. Love it. So the first thing I usually do when I design something is I first model the actual part that I have that is already designed and that I'm going to use. So I do that just by measuring it with this caliper, usually getting like the diameter and the thickness and everything and creating that so that I can use that in my CAD software. So let's start off by doing that. I got a new document here. So we're going to create... we'll start by creating a sketch. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're always here. Definitely appreciate that. So I pretty much only work in millimeters now because the metric system is bomb and I think it should be used everywhere. But it's not, and that's really dumb. Oh, cool. Hell yeah. I actually did not have work today. I went to school. I'm in online classes, so I just did homework. And I went to this thing called Minnesota Electronic Theater tonight at the Poorhouse downtown, which was kind of cool. It was just like a animation expo showing off like animations and things that local artists and companies have done. Oh wow, this thing is exactly 100 millimeters in diameter, like on the dot when I measure it. That's pretty cool. So 100, and then we are going to extrude this out. We'll go symmetric. Yeah, man. Imperial system is the standard system, and it's dumb that we still use it, but as Americans, it's so ingrained in our heads already, and it's actually, for most companies, all their designs are already in the Imperial units, and it would be really expensive for them to switch, which is too bad. Right? It's fun if you have a car that you can like switch the dial over to kilometers per hour and then freak out your friends, make them think you're going like 120 miles an hour. All right, this is 10.9. And you can kind of see the edge here. It's got like a little curve to it. I think I'm just gonna throw a fillet on there. There's no point in getting it like super exact because I'm not actually 3D printing this part. I'm only using it for reference. So let's slap some fillets on there. That looks pretty good. I buried the needle. Wait, where does that expression come from? Let's see. Before I put that fillet on there, I'm actually going to make a little cut. Because there's a little USB port on one side of it. So I'm going to put that in there. You know what? Actually, I can do that after the fillets here. I'll just make an offset plane. And we'll offset it from there. We'll take it out to... Doesn't really need to be exact. Well, you know, it's 100 millimeters. Yeah, we'll take it out to 50. Oh, yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. Now they got limiters and all that stuff for the new cars. Not as fun. Not as fun if you can't blow up your engine, right? Yeah, I mean it's not for everyone. And that doesn't mean like you'd be bad at it if you kept trying, because it definitely takes some practice. But also if you don't like it, why do it either? Everyone has things that they like and enjoy doing. That is completely fine. I feel like I don't really need to get this exact. We're just going to make a rectangle and call it good. And we'll just make it 10 millimeters. You got an S10. Isn't that a pickup? Yeah, you've been learning how to play guitar. That's right. How's that been going? There. Look at that. We have our charging pad. That is done, I would say, and now we can just kind of design around that. Yeah, my dad actually used to drive a Chevy S10, so I know exactly what that pickup looks like. But that was the first car I ever drove when I was 13, I think I drove an S10 for the first time. My very first car I drove out on some random gravel road by my house. Alright, so let's save this. Anker charging pad. Yeah, nice. Oh, you definitely need to do it at your own pace. That's how I learned too. And I just learned tabs. I didn't even try to read sheet music when it came to guitar parts. I already knew how to read sheet music for piano, but for guitar, I personally think it makes more sense just to do tabs. Oh yeah, O2, huh? All right. So now that we have that done, we need to start actually designing our stand. So there are a few designs that I want to base this off of. And I'll show you those. I was kind of looking around for inspiration on Thingiverse because people have made phone stands, but no one's made one that no one's made one that actually charges your phone that I could find. Oh yeah, those are fun. I think I learned some like Metallica for my first songs. Enter Sandman, Sweet Child of Mine, some Guns N' Roses. So this stand I actually really like because it's pretty minimalistic. The dude who did it actually, yeah, that's this one right here. So I actually printed that out, and I kind of want to like, I don't want to use it as my base design because I'm actually gonna make a hinged one. And there's another one. Yeah, this dude had some sort of design principles. I don't know what Frischwinger means, but looks pretty good. I think he says in the description, actually. Frischwinger is German and translates to free swinging. You want to make a simple design with clear forms and edges. The stand is reduced down to its fundamentals, yet provides a safe and secure resting place for your mobile device. So I kind of want to do something aesthetically similar, but I want it to be able to like pivot your phone up and down, like you can set it where you want it. So if it's on your desk in front of you, you can watch YouTube videos on it and just set it down. Or on your nightstand or whatever, you can get the angle just right for looking over at it if someone texts you or something. So yeah, we got that design. There was one other one as well that I liked that pivoted. So let's take a look at that real quick. This one. It's a mechanical quick release one, which is actually pretty cool. Because you just kind of drop your phone in and it kind of just grabs it. But I don't want to do that for my charging pad one because I want you to be able to like easily pick it up and set it down and just like for it to be kind of a phone rest. So I don't want it to grab your phone, but I like how he hinged it there. And I want to do something similar. It's actually interesting that those are made out of plastic. I was planning on just using like a metal bolt or something. But I like the sleekness of this design. It looks really nice on the bottom. So I might go with something similar than that. Maybe do something more simple for the first version. But I really like the profile of that stand. So I want to do something similar to this. But it charges your phone and you can set it at whatever degree angle you want. And it doesn't like hook your phone in there. You can just pick it up and set it down, essentially. So essentially, I want to do a fusion between these two. And then I want it to be able to charge it. So I think we're on the right track with this. So, that being said, I think I should just start blocking this out. So if my phone is like that, we want it to be centered. And I think we want... Phone's all dirty. I think we want, like... I think we want to make, like, two hooks that are down here to rest your phone. And those will be out, like, wide. Those will be, like, kind of out here. That way your phone's at the right height on the charging pad when you set it down sideways. And then there will be two hooks, like, probably like a little lowered, like down here. So that way when you tilt your phone vertically, the charging pad is still in the center when you set it down, and the hooks are right here. So essentially I need to make two sets of hooks. One for the vertical orientation, and then one for the horizontal orientation. So the horizontal ones will be out here. The vertical ones will be down here, so that when you set your phone in that way, it's at the right height. So I think I should just start creating that and then start worrying about placing the charging pad, and the hinge has to be last, I think. I think that's got to be kind of an addition to just the main piece that holds your phone. So I think, actually, because we got a charging pad, the first step is creating a little holder for that. So I'm just going to create a little disc, I think, that would hold the charging pad. I think that's the first step. So we're just going to start with a circle. And because our charging pad is 100 millimeters, we want to go 100 millimeters plus... I mean, we want a pretty tight fit. We'll give it 0.6 millimeters of play. So with engineering, you can never design everything line to line exactly, or else when you go and try to fit it up, things will get stuck. So I gave it a little bit of an air gap. 0.6 millimeters is usually pretty good. I think that's like 18 thousandths of an inch or something like that. Actually, I'd be really impressed if I remember that. Let's check. 0.6 millimeters, 2 inches. And that was close. It's 23 thousandths of an inch. But yeah, that's usually a pretty good air gap to use when you want some clearance on your parts. But I'm actually going to cut that in a second. So I actually want a little lip that surrounds it. And let's see, how thick do we want that rim to be? Maybe 2 millimeters? Yeah. And we'll make this inner circle construction, meaning that it's not actually used when we extrude. So we'll extrude this thing back. I think it was like 11 millimeters is how thick this thing was. One of my favorite guitar riffs is... Oh man. There's one by Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. I'll try and find it for you, but like it's one of my favorites. Like it's like an opening solo. I'm gonna look this up. I can't play it on stream because of copyright bullshit, but yeah, Nate, let me see if I can find that song for you though. You should definitely check out Maylene and the Sons of Disaster though. They are pretty awesome. I think it's called Dry the River. Yep, it's called Dry the River. So check out Dry the River by Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. That first opening guitar line is so fun to play. And it's actually not as hard as it sounds either. So once you start getting a little better, that I would actually recommend that one. Alright, so back to this. We'll go with 15 millimeters for now. And then we actually want to cut the hole for the charging pad to fit into. So we'll create another sketch on there. I have not attempted Through the Fire and Flames. That's probably beyond my skill level, though. I'm just gonna say that right now. Actually, I don't even... Alright, so we'll cut into there. And the charging pad was roughly 11 millimeters thick. I think it was like 10.8 or something like that. Yeah, 10.8. So we'll just make an 11 millimeter hole. And that actually is looking pretty good. I think this is a little too thick at 4 millimeters. Yeah, that's too thick. I want to take that down to... I think we'd be good at 2 millimeters. Maybe 3 millimeters. So this extrusion, change that to... We'll take a millimeter off of that. We'll go from 15 to 14. Oh, okay. So, like, it's before it kind of picks up and gets harder. Hang on, I'll listen to that right now, actually. I've got Spotify going in my headphones right now. I just have it muted on the stream. Alright, I just started firing the flames. I mean, I definitely could play this first intro part. It's just, the chords are pretty easy. I probably, like, honestly, I probably couldn't pick as fast as what they do when the song just starts going, though. Like, your hand movements have to be extremely fast to do that crap. But it's all muscle memory, so I think if I, like, practiced enough, I probably could. Alright, so let's save this. What should we call this? Charger base, maybe? Charger base. And then I'm gonna make a new design. An assembly, actually, so we can see how this stuff fits up. So let's bring in charger base. pin that down. Then we got our charging pad. Oops. There we go. Now that fits in there. And that is essentially going to be our charging pad. Probably going to make it so that... Yeah, I'll adjust that clearance a little bit later, but that's pretty good. So I'm going to roughly design it to my phone, and I think that should work for most people's phones these days, because they're pretty... Phones are pretty big these days. It would be pretty easy for me to make several different sizes if I want to later. So I think I'm just going to keep this to one piece. And we need the horizontal orientation and the vertical orientation. So I think I'll start with... Probably doesn't matter. Ooh, thanks for hosting, Fractal Zion. Much appreciated. All right, I think I'm going to start with the bottom first. All right. So we're going to make some hooks that come on the bottom. I'm going to make it in a way that I can easily adjust it, so... I'll make that like... See, I'll measure how thick this was, because, like I said, I kind of like this design. And that is about 10 millimeters for these hooks, so I think that's probably a good place to start. I might make them a little more robust. We'll just see how that does. And as far as spacing goes, the center of them is spaced out 50 millimeters. So I'm just going to make a little point at this midpoint. That way. You can go 25 millimeters out. And then we're going to mirror this over once I actually make the hook. And as far as the distance from the center of the pad goes, I'm just going to roughly measure this from the center of the pad to the bottom of my phone. So I got to get this distance. So basically just, I can measure the length of my phone and just divide that by 2. Oh, it's not quite long enough. I'll get out a ruler. All right. So my phone is roughly, it's like roughly 165 millimeters, 65, 66. We'll go 168 millimeters divided by 2. That looks about right. 84 millimeters. So let's extrude that this way. And how thick should we make that? This stand made it like 5 millimeters, so let's just start with that and see how that goes. And then now I want to make a little hook feature. And I am probably going to use this design as reference for the hook because I like how this hook grabs your phone. You can kind of see the shape of it. It kind of sits nicely. That way when you set your phone down, it kind of catches it so that it doesn't fall. So I think I'm going to kind of measure off of that and try and create something similar to that. So let's give that a shot, see how it goes. I'm going to start a new sketch on this face. And I'm just going to roughly draw the profile that I see. When I'm doing really like rough drawing, I actually hold up the part in front of me, like in front of the actual computer screen. So it's like, if you could see my point of view, I'm holding this up and matching up this profile to this thing I see on the screen right here. So this needs to come out. And then there's a little hook at the end. And then it comes down. And then back in. And then up to here. So that's the shape of our hook, roughly. This will make vertical. We want to preserve our 5 millimeter distance. We'll also make that 5 millimeters. And then we would just want the length of this to be, I'm going to measure this length on here and see what we got. Roughly, it's like 11 millimeters. That's probably about right. We'll go 11. And then this hook I'm just going to make at like, go 45 degrees. Actually 55 will probably grab your phone a little better. So let's do that. And the length of that, I'm just gonna eyeball it. That probably doesn't need to be that long. We'll go 4. And then that's probably good actually. So let's extrude that out this way. And we'll go to object and select this face so that it extrudes up to there. And look at that, we have a hook. Beautiful. So now I'm going to mirror that over to the other side by just grabbing that and mirroring it and selecting this plane. And now it's, oh, that didn't work the way I wanted. That should work. What the hell? Oh, I know why. I needed to select both of these features. Duh. Alright. And there we go. We have our first set of hooks. That actually looks pretty good. I'm going to send out a quick Snapchat. Okay. Go for it. You hop in the shower, and I'm going to grab a beer. All right. Because all good engineering decisions are made while drinking beer. It's a fact. Cool. So we have our bottom hooks. Kind of looks like a little dude, little circle dude with little feet. And so now that we have those, that allows the phone to sit like this. Or no, I'm sorry, like this. But we need another set of hooks out here because then it needs to sit like this. So in order to do that, I'm trying to think of the best way to structure that. We don't want it to come straight out because that would probably make it snap. So we probably actually want it to come out tangent from the circle at whatever distance they're at and come out sideways. All right, I'm going to get a little creative with this one. We'll go tangent. Should I just go straight in from there? So you got to think about which way the force is being applied when it's going down. It's pulling, that's a tension member here. And it'll be a compression member here. So yeah. So I think we should be good going straight in. It would probably be have more strength if I angled it down here, but I'm just going to go straight in. And I think that'll work fine. And I'm going to make a cutout for that later, but for now, I might not even... Well, I should dimension that. So we want that to kind of come out toward the edges of my phone, but not all the way. So the outer, yeah, we'll go, let's try 60 millimeters. Oh man, I way overestimated that, didn't I? Yeah, that kind of goes to show how doing things by sight is not always the best way. I had it way out there when it needed to be way further in. So I should have measured first. Okay. So now the actual bottom of the hook needs to be at the bottom of my phone. So I can just do that by measuring my phone across. .81. So we'll just go 78 divided by 2. That'll be close enough. So 78 divided by 2, 39. All right. Now we have our location for our next hook. We'll extrude that back 5 millimeters. And then we will create our hook. And we'll design it the exact same way we designed this one down here. So 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. And what was this angle we used again? I think it was 55. And then 4. And then 11, if I recall. I'm going to recheck that later, but we'll go with that. I'm going to recheck that sketch actually down here. So 55, 5, 11, 4. Yep. So those match up. Oh, except I got to make this 10 millimeters. Cool. Hmm. You know what? I think I want this to come straight out from there rather than be this appendage on the bottom. So in order to do that, I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of that sketch. And we're going to make this come down 5 millimeters more. And then we'll draw it straight out this time. Make those parallel. Distance is already correct. So I just want you to know, if I was actually, if I was actually doing this for someone other than myself, for like a company, I'd probably clean up my dimensions a little more than this. Because the way I'm doing stuff right now is pretty just quick and dirty. Although a lot of engineers probably design that way on a daily basis, if I'm being honest. Oops. 11, not 1. And 55 degrees. And 4 millimeters. So that looks good. We will bring that over by 11 millimeters. Boom. You know what I should do? I need to model my phone next, after I get this hook set up. Alright. So time to mirror that feature over. Boom. Look at that. That is looking pretty good. Let's update this. Not bad. That should be able to hold the phone in both the vertical and horizontal orientation. So I'm just going to model my phone real quick. Just do a really quick and dirty version of it. So we'll just do a rectangle. Center rectangle. So the horizontal distance is 78. Yeah, that's right. It was 78. And what was this? 160. 168. And how thick is my phone? At its thickest, we're going to go by the case dimension. 11.5 millimeters. And then we'll round the edges here. Oops. And we'll do another round. And there's my phone. We should put something funny on the screen. Oh man. Once you get back, Nate, you'll help me come up with something. Alright, so let's save this. Galaxy S8 Plus mockup. And then let's bring that in. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, so we'll create some joints here. Not the fun kind. Alright, we got that. And then cool. That should work pretty well. And everything is pretty centered up. I'm just gonna ground that. And then I'm gonna do another one for the other orientation. Okay, so I may need to bring those hooks out a little more, actually. I do want them to be... I mean, actually, that's pretty good. The only risk is that it would hit your volume button, but if your phone is just resting on that, I don't think that it would. I'm gonna leave it for now. So let's ground that. Alright, so now we have our charging pad, and this is what I was explaining earlier, how I wanted it to be in both a horizontal and vertical orientation. So we need 2 sets of hooks. And in order to do that, we need... Yeah, so, sorry, like I was saying, 2 sets of hooks. So we have our horizontal position, and then our vertical position. So you can have it either way. I should maybe bring these in either a little more or make them a little wider so that they fit a wider range of phones. No, I don't think anyone's phone is going to be less than 40 millimeters wide. No, this should work with, like, most phones these days, I would say. Cool. So let's save that. And then we'll go back to charger base. So I don't know. I guess now's the time to add fillets to this thing. I'm going to leave the back alone because that's where we're going to have to attach the hinge. So I'm not going to touch that fillet-wise, but everything else I think should be good. So it's time. Go crazy with the fillets. Let's do this. So... There we go. That way that's completely round. I think that fillet size is okay for that. Well, that should be good. For that. Alright, what do we want that to be? Maybe just a little fillet there. Maybe just 1 millimeter. Because if someone's phone is square, we want it to fit perfectly flat to there. Ah, that rhymed. We'll go 1.5 for that. Alright, what should those be? We can get pretty generous with this one. We'll go with 6 for that. And for these, we'll go with 4. Just so that this is a little stronger. Let's see how that looks there. Oh yeah, I think that's a good move. Actually, I'll just tag along to that fillet. And then I don't think I'm going to put a fillet there. Just because I don't want it to, I kind of want it to catch there, so I don't want to use a fillet there. That's looking pretty good, actually. Now we got to smooth out these corners. You know what? I should almost mirror. I should do. Well, I'm doing twice as many fillets if I do it before mirror. If I do it after I'm mirroring. I don't care. That's fine. We'll go 5mm on that fillet. Yeah, that looks good. But we do want to do something about this. I don't like this sharp edge here. So I need to do something about that. But I'm not sure exactly. I wish I could just fillet an edge. Maybe this edge. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. I still don't like it though. I want to keep all the side edges flat if I can. Because I think it actually looks better that way. I mean, at the very least, I could just like actually make a cut there. I don't like that though. That's kind of sloppy. I just want to snip off that corner. Or I could just leave it and say screw it, but I do like how this is coming along though. Let's save that and just see how that looks with my phone. That's pretty good. Looks pretty slick, I would say. This edge definitely needs to be rounded though. That looks like crap. I hate sharp corners when I'm designing plastic parts. Let's figure out how to do that. Oops. I mean, that helps a little bit if I do that, but I don't want to... I don't want everything else to be filleted. I just want that to be, that corner. Oh, that doesn't look awful, actually. Well, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make that trade-off. No, we're not doing it there. Yeah, I think that'll probably work. Let's see, would we want it down here? So it matches? I don't know. I also got to think about the orientation that I'm going to be 3D printing this in, because we'll get into that later, but there are, when you're 3D printing something, there are layer lines, and your part varies in strength depending on how you orient it when you're 3D printing it. And also, it has to do with support removal. So I'd like to print this. I think actually laying down makes the most sense right now, but it won't when I put a hinge in the back, is the thing. What if I printed it sideways? That might work. We'll get into that later. I'll show you how these parts get sliced up. And by slicing, I mean when you 3D print a model, your 3D printer lays down the part layer by layer in a lot of individual slices that eventually just stack up and make the complete part. So a slicer figures out how to slice those portions, and if, say, it's starting with the bottom layer right here and building it up, it only can print this, but it has to print support material for everything else above it. So it would have to print like material to fill these open spaces until it got up to there. As far as strength is concerned, it probably makes the most sense to print it like this. But it's bulky enough to where it probably doesn't matter too much. Then again, laying down might actually be better. So if we print it laying down, it looks like that. Yeah, I think that'll work actually. All right, we'll roll with that for now. So we want to give this a little bit of strength. Maybe 2mm fillet there. Hmm, 1.5 ought to do it. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I would say. I do kind of just want to see what this would look like if we did put a big old fillet there. I don't think I like that. Nope, I'm gonna leave it. That looks pretty good, I would say. So let's take a look at the assembly here. And I will... Hang on, I want to get rid of some of these sketches. So we'll update the parts. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, let's make this look a little more interesting, huh? We'll make the phone... Go with glass. Doesn't really matter what kind of material we make it out of. I'm just looking for a texture. Phone can be blue. And our charging stand. That can stay this color. I don't care too much about that. Make that red. Then let's make... Yeah, there we go. Go yellow. We'll go white. We'll go green. All right, well that's looking pretty good. Should hold it good sideways, should hold it good that way. So now, I just need to think about throwing this thing on a hinge somehow. And how that's gonna work. I could just make it one piece like this, but I really do want to be able to adjust it. All right, I'm gonna be right back and take a bathroom break and go grab a beer. So I'll see you in a second. And we're back. Alright, so now I need to think about how I want to make the stand and the hinge. And how I want the stand to look as well. Because this is circular, I almost want to make the stand like a circular pad that just sets down on your table. Yeah, I can always vary the stand. Make several different variations actually for people to do different stuff. Or to choose whatever stand they like best. I'm not going to do that quite yet. Alright, so let's look at some hinge mechanisms and get some ideas. So, how's this one work? So it just has, it's like a dual hinge slot type of thing. Interested in how these screws work. So it's actually plastic bolts. Those are kind of cool. Where's the nut that the bolt threads into, though? They go on each side? Maybe I should just download this and see how they did it. I'm going to check out a few other designs first. We'll get some ideas here, huh? Most of these are fixed. This one folds. And I do like how you can set it at different heights that way. But I think it just looks kind of crappy compared to other designs. Looks like a folding pool chair. I don't like that. I do like that, though. Let's see what else we got. Gotta be something. This is interesting. It's an actual ball mount? That's pretty cool. Oh, cool. I'm not going to build mine like that because I don't think this is rigid enough, but I like that design. Pretty interesting. So you just slide it in and twist it. Okay. Oh, we're onto something here. Oh, there's a Fusion 360 model that someone shared. I like how you can twist these. Maybe I'll borrow from this guy and credit him. We're gonna open this in Fusion. Well, that didn't work. Maybe I can find it from within Fusion? No. It sucks that doesn't work. Couldn't find the Qt platform plugin windows. Thanks, Fusion. Anyway, I wonder if I can just see how this works. Oh, cool. Oh, I really like this design. It's got little, like a groove and a notch so that it can go in several different positions. So we're gonna get this archive of this file. I just need to open it via email. So give me a second here. See if I can get this working. Let's see what we got. Cool. Okay, so I think I might be able to like straight up just use some of these parts It's pretty cool. So I think what I'm mostly after is probably this one. Or I could do an arm like that. Alright, how'd that look again? Oh, okay. I don't want to do it that way, because that hinge is being used sideways on the wall. But if I just use this design, yeah, I think that would actually work okay. Yeah, I think that would work. Be right back. Alright, I think we're going to use that design. Alright, we're going to take this feature tree back a ways. Okay, so it all started back here. I want to take it down to the bare bones. Okay. We do want that. All right, so we got our pieces here. This is our joint, essentially. I gotta make sure that there's no special instructions for printing here. It's got recommendations for how to orient the parts when they're being printed. Okay. So maybe I could keep that, actually. Then I would just need to build that piece onto what I already have. Right? I think that I basically need to put this on to back of this. But is it going to be robust enough is the thing. Let's see. Actually, I think it will be. If it's like that, I think that should work. Okay. Well, I don't really know what I'm doing as far as making that, so I think I should just kind of try and reproduce the features of this thing. Interesting. Very interesting. I haven't used this feature in Fusion 360 before. Hmm. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Okay. We're gonna give this a shot. I bet I can figure out how this was done. I'll have to credit this person if I use their stuff though. Alright, so that has a radius of 15 millimeters. $25 millimeters away. Alright. That can probably get pretty close. $25 millimeters away, according to that, but I don't think we have to follow that exactly. But we will for now. We're gonna go 20. Tangent to there. Another line. Also tangent. All right, now we got to think about how high up we want this. So probably the lower the better, honestly. Yeah, let's get this as low as possible, I think. Just needs a little bit of clearance for those 3D printed nuts. Nuts. Nope. We gotta leave that at 20. Yeah, we gotta leave that at 20. Okay. Then let's extrude that symmetrically. And this thickness. We're at 10 millimeters. Okay. And then inner diameter 7.70. The 2 millimeter radius. Okay. I could probably put that into my original sketch here. Put 2 there. There. Okay. Oh, interesting. This is the tricky part for me because I haven't used Fusion in this kind of way yet. I essentially need to make this feature. Loft. That's because I've never used Loft in Fusion 360. Used it in SolidWorks and Creo, but not Fusion 360. All right, first. Looks like this person just created a circle. $90. Okay. And 2.5 millimeters in diameter. Let's try that. Okay, so that sketch is finished. Oh, there's more to this sketch than just that, huh? Interesting. Hmm. Thing. Well, I'll just measure that. So radius 10. And obviously radius 15. Okay. And we need to extrude that by how much? 3.5 millimeters. Okay. All right, now I got to figure out this loft feature. I've never done in Fusion before. So profile 1 is... All right, we're going to give this a shot. Hmm. It's from Sketch 7. It's like a 3D sketch, though. Well, we're just going to... Actually, I don't think I need to make that sketch. Let's try placing a reference point and see if that works. Yes. Operation intersect. Well, that didn't work. Oh, because it needs to be a new body, right? Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, that didn't change anything. All right, now let's try this loft feature, huh? Boom, look at that. Got it. Then circular pattern with 12. Oh, what happened? Hit option adjust. Pattern type, bodies, objects 1, axis. Okay. Cool. Then what? Oh man. We manually did that with a 0.89 rolling ball radius. Okay. Um I'm not doing that prior to. Should have done it earlier, dude. Why'd you manually do that shit? Hmm. Oh, is this a join? Also, we might have a difference here because okay. We do need that first. Okay. Well, let's just do it his way. Then we need a combine. Cool. Well, that worked really well, actually. See the logic in that now. That looks pretty darn good. If I do say so myself. $2 millimeters. Well, so is this though. This offset faces. Well, whatever. That should be good enough. So that way the center of gravity is more or less. We could bring that even lower, I think. That's at 5. Let's go 2. Maybe even get down to 1. Yeah, I think we could get down to We'll try 1. If not 1, we'll go with 1.5. Oh yeah. Cool. We got that down. So should we actually use the interconnecting piece, you think? I think we can do it. I think we can go with that. Just gonna go way back in the history here. Like all the way back to the original design. And then I think we'll use this piece. I kind of do want to go just straight up and down though. Like one piece built into the base and there's just one pivot. Yeah. All right, so now I got to figure out the other end of the spectrum here. Huh. All right, so now I got to figure out how he did the other piece. It's not the nut. So it's this one. It's whatever this sampled shit is. That's pretty complicated to model, I think. Oh, wait. What is that? That's a combine? But interesting. Oh, I got a whole one viewer. Look at that. I think I know who that is. Oh, you need to register for a Twitch account. Yeah, you need to sign up for a Twitch account if you want to chat with me. But that shouldn't be too hard. I think you can do it. Okay. So I think I just make the stand, and then I can use that to put these divots in to lock things down. Maybe I'll just use that part though. Maybe I'll just take this and then modify it. Because this is the piece I need, essentially, to get this stand to work. We're just going to make that solid. And in fact, we're going to make that 20. That's not vertical. Okay. Is it like that before? Yeah, it was. All right, I think we're going to take one of these parts and just add on to it slash modify it. All right, I'm going to back out of here. Go as far back as we can go. You're good. You could probably make a new one if you want. Text me if you can hear me over Twitch chat. Because if you can hear me over Twitch chat, then I'll just talk to you that way when you text me instead. Hell yeah. Worth it. Totally worth it. I don't like that. It looks like an error in the file. Hey! What up? You made it. Made it in the chat. Hell yeah. So you want me to show you what I have done so far tonight? So I'm making this. Well, first of all, can you hear me? Just let me know if you can actually hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. I'll show you. There might be like a little delay from when I see your chat to when I reply to you. So we'll start off with just this charging pad. So I got this like charging pad that I'm building everything around. So the first thing I did was model the charging pad. Like you can see like the little USB port on the bottom. So I modeled that up first just so I know that's what I'm working with. And then I built a mount kind of around that pad. So hang on, let me go back to the assembly. So then I built the mount that actually holds the phone. And I wanted it to work in like both orientations, whether you were holding your phone like you would put it on the pad like either this way, you want it vertical, or you'd want it that way. So then you need two sets of little hooks on the bottom. Um, so here's what my phone looks like vertically. And notice that the center of my phone is lined up centered with the charging pad, which is how it needs to work in order to charge. And so that's the vertical orientation, and it's using these bottom hooks. And then I had to make these other set of hooks for if you want to put it horizontally like that. And then you can see that it's also centered that way. So no matter what direction you want to put your phone, it's going to be centered up. And actually making that, I can kind of walk you through my process. So if I roll way back, all I started with was this little disc that's just a little bit bigger than this. Then I cut a hole in it so that this thing can actually fit in the middle of it, the charging pad. Then I built one of the hooks, and then I copied it over to the other side. And then I started working on the second set of hooks. And I'm just like using this to actually like measure my phone and like how far apart I need the hooks to be. And I based these hooks design off of like another thing that I downloaded, this little phone stand. Yeah, I know, it kind of does look like a cute little round guy. Maybe I'll draw like eyes on the back or something. But I based the hooks off of like this little 3D printed stand that I downloaded. Like obviously this can't charge a phone, but I liked how it looked, so I kind of based like the hook design off that. So I made that, and then I started working on the alternate set of hooks so that you could put your phone sideways and it would still be centered on the charging pad. Then I got these hooks here, and now that looks like a little guy going like, yeah, I think. Hang on, I should probably switch it back to this view so you can actually see what I'm telling you. And then I started adding like rounds to it. Like that. And just kind of making it sleek, like adding these rounds. So if I put like a round right there, it actually adds more strength to the part because sharp corners are stress break points. Like if you set your phone down hard on there, then there's a chance it could break. That's also why I put like a round right here, because it makes it more structurally sound. And then what did I start to do? Then I started, okay, so at this point in the design phase, I was thinking, okay, so I've got everything working as far as holding the phone. Hold the phone. Um, but now I need to figure out how to put it on a hinge, so because I want it to be able to like rotate up and down depending on like what direction you want your phone to face. So I went on the internet and found a design that I liked for this like articulating wall mounted phone mount or whatever. And I thought it's cool that they have these like plastic screws that you just 3D print out and they work. Like you don't even have to put metal parts into this. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Maybe I can like just use this for my design. And it turns out the person who made this released the files for it. So I just downloaded the files and brought them into my project. Like the person who designed it just like released this to the public. So then brought that into here, and that's what like this project is. So I didn't actually make this, but I'm like copying this for my design. I'll probably credit the person who made it, because it'll probably work well for mine. So I just like copied these features into my design and just basically copied exactly what that person did. I made like a little hinge thing here, and then put these little these like little nub things in, so that when you tighten it down, it stays in place. Because the opposite of that, if I show it here for you, So you see how these notches fit into those notches. So when you tighten it down, it's guaranteed to stay in place. So I copied that into my design, and now I think I'm just gonna take this part and like build off of it to make like a little stand for everything to sit on. So now I gotta figure out how to do that, which I don't think it'll be too hard, honestly. How was your nap, by the way? Thank you. I enjoy doing this stuff. It's super, super nerdy. But I like the fact that I can basically design a product. Like if I was working for an engineering company, I could maybe like sell this. But I'm not. I'm going to release this to the public when it's done. Yeah, I'm going to see how late I can stay up tonight. I'm thinking maybe I'll just print this out overnight and then see where I'm at tomorrow. So maybe I should just focus on this part and then I can worry about the stand sometime tomorrow. I'm about ready to go to bed, I think. I'm gonna add a little round here. Let's see, what else do I need to do? All right, I'm gonna basically just finish this part. So in order to give it a little more strength, we'll add some rounds here. A little more strength that way. We'll add a little round there. Cool. I probably just need 1 millimeter. What's this one? That one was 1.5 millimeters. Well, thanks. I'm glad you love the nerdiness. I'm actually glad you do. We're actually going to go 1.5 on that one. On there. So toward the end of the design process is where you kind of like smooth out the edges and put some rounds in and things like that. So I think this is probably good enough to 3D print at this point. And then maybe I'll just do this and then worry about the stand later. Yeah, maybe I'll worry about the stand tomorrow. So, if you're still there, I'll show you how I 3D print something. Like when I actually finish the model. I'm just trying to see if there are any finishing touches I should put on this thing, but it's honestly looking pretty good to me. All right. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I want to do to this before I print it, because oh, you know what? I should put a happy face on it, shouldn't I? I'm gonna do that. Just for you, just because you suggested it. Alright, this is your edition. This is your edition, Grace. So, in order to make a little happy face, let's see, let's put an eye there, an eye there. Should we make it kind of like look a little dumb? I think we should. Like one eye a little bigger. Yeah. Alright, we're making progress here. It's a good finishing touch. Thank you for the suggestion. This was your idea after all. So good job. Oh, that fucked it up big time. Tangent. Alright, another arc. Alright, I will finish this smile for you. Oh, look at that. Should I just keep it that way? Should I try and fix it any, or should it just be... It can be a he. Should I just leave it that way? Does that look good to you? Or should I adjust it a little more? Let me know if this looks good. Yeah, I'll leave it. Okay. Oh, does he need a... Alright. Look at that. Oh, it's perfect. I actually love that. Amazing. All right, well, we're going to print this off tonight. All right, so let's do that now. Let's do that. I think this is pretty good. I think this is the way I want it to be. Let's just check the assembly real quick. Make sure everything fits up right. There's enough of a gap, which I think there should be. I think it should be fine. Alright, so there's our guy. There's the charging pad. And there's the phone. I'll probably draw it with like white paint, like a little happy face on this charging pad when I actually put it up. Just because of that. Because it makes it cuter. Alright. So, let's save this out. Okay. That should be good. Okay. So now I'm getting the 3D printing app started. Takes a second usually. Okay. So let's get the model that we just made. In there. There he is. Alright. Now let's see how long it's going to take. It's probably going to take a long time to print this guy. Oh yeah. Look at that. 15 hours and 50 minutes. And if you want to know why, it's because this is how he actually looks on the 3D printer. Because there's all this support material that needs to be built up underneath him before he actually can be printed. Or the main part of him. So when you're 3D printing something, everything is like kind of defined by the layer lines. Because it prints it up layer by layer. You already know that, but yeah, this is a little interesting. Wonder if there's a better way to print him. Maybe if I tilted him. See how long that would take. Yeah. I have a feeling this is going to take a lot longer if I do it this way. 13 hours. That's better, but I don't think it's going to be as strong this way. So the way you orient the part also has to do with the strength. I actually don't like how that looks, so I'm not going to do it that way. But what if I tilted him on his side? And let's see. $14. Yeah, I think the best way is just on his back. That's going to be the best way for sure. Alright. So we'll set him up with the right settings and we'll get him on the 3D printer tonight. So, infill. That all looks good. We got support. I am going to change that to 56. That way that gets rid of these supports right here. They're not going to be needed up here. There we go, that's a little better. So building them up layer by layer. Usually before I print a part, I go through and wall line count 3. I go through and check each layer just to make sure that there's no issues. Just seems right to have him on his back. Yes. Alright, so let's step through these layers. What I'm specifically looking at is if material gets dropped into thin air, then the print's gonna fail. So I gotta make sure that doesn't happen. So this looks pretty good to me so far. Let's just working on that. And now we get up to his back. And then the rest should be good to go. I mean, yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. No, he's gonna come out black, actually, because I have black material. But you're right, though. The yellow does suit his face, doesn't it? I love his face. It's so awesome. Alright. Let's start this now, and then it'll be ready sometime tomorrow. Charging stand. Come on. Like it's frozen or something. No! Did it freeze on me? No, it didn't. Good. Alright, so now it's time to actually 3D print it. I have my webcam on the Oh yeah, I have a green screen behind me, and then I just downloaded like a looping video of like outer space and then put that behind me. So if I turn off that effect, I'll show you once. The filter. There. That's what it actually looks like behind me. Green screen. But I got like a little looping video going. I figure it's more interesting that way, because I could just like not even use a green screen and then just have my apartment behind me. But yeah, everything looks a lot better this way. It's a little more interesting when I'm just like sitting there to have that there. I know. Gotta have the cool stars. Figured that was a good addition. All right. So I'll make this bigger. So I'm gonna go over to my 3D printer. I can put literally anything I want on the screen, actually. So hang on, I'll be right back. I gotta clean off the 3D printing surface real quick. You'll actually see me do it though. That's prepared. There's one other thing I thought of before I actually 3D print this. And I might need to change build plate adhesion. So I'm going to do that first. Takes a while. It adds a considerable amount of time, but it'll help it print better. I'm going to go with 1 there and see what that does. We're almost there. That didn't make much of a difference. We'll go back to 2. All right. Yeah, this will print out much better this way. All right, so we'll upload. We'll load it. Then we'll hit print. All right, I'm gonna go check out the printer real quick. Man, material's kind of messed up. All kinds of fun. Oh, I just broke it. All right. So I just fucked it up because the filament broke off because it wasn't wound correctly by the manufacturer, which really sucks. I'm gonna have to do a filament change on the fly. So we'll see if that pans out or not. Oh, this sucks. I have to like unroll this whole freaking spool of filament. There we go. All right, now I gotta wind it all back up. And then I need to go over to the printer and actually change out the filament, which you'll be able to see me do, I think. I need to reconnect it. Because it's going right now, but it's going to run out in like 5 minutes if I don't do anything. So let's take care of that. I'm gonna pause the print. Well, come on, are you gonna pause? I hit the pause button and it's not pausing. There we go. All right, let's go change that out. All right, we should be set. All right, our little guy is printing. Little plastic boy. I think that we have done enough design work for today and that it's time for bed. So red guy should be good by tomorrow night, 6 p.m., 6 or 7 p.m. tomorrow. He should be done. And yeah, that's a good like starting point for him, I think. Then I can work on the stand later. Cool. I think I'm gonna make the stand just like a round like circle on the bottom and like a post coming up. Because there are some other stands I was looking at earlier that I like. I do like the look of this one. Like, that does look kind of sweet, the way it's curved. But because I already have like a circle here, I think it'd be cool to just like put one of those circles down on the ground and just have like a post come in straight up from it. Kind of like the base of like a fan or something like that. Or like the base of a lamp, for example. All right. I think that's where we're going to end the stream tonight. So we're going to save everything. And we're going to close out of here. Yeah, you had some influence. He wouldn't have had a happy face without you. So thank you for that. That's your feature. Your addition. Probably the best edition of the whole thing, actually. Oh. All right. It is time for bed. So I'm going to end the stream. And good night to all my viewers tonight. All my one viewers. All right. Ending the stream. Goodbye, everybody.